2011. Since then, he has had stints almost everywhere, including Impact Wrestling, Lucha Underground, and other promotions, wrestling under an array of monikers, including Johnny Blackcraft, Johnny Blaze, Johnny Impact, Johnny Mundo, Johnny Nitro, Johnny Onyx, Johnny Spade, Johnny Superstar, Johnny Ultra, and John Morrison. There's the man with more names than anyone else in wrestling. There's no word yet on when Hennigan will make his return to the company, or if he will resume the name Morrison, or if he's going to use one of his other non-diplumes, or if he'll get a brand new name.
Honestly,
now,
I think he should go to NXT. He should just come in as Johnny, and he should take on Johnny Gargano for the title of Johnny Wrestling.
Hey, I like that. The title, the name, the rights to a name. They haven't done one of those for a while. That's an old school.
Plus a wrestling feud for rights to a name would be a good way to rub it in Ric Flair's.
Right? With all of this being said, on Twitter, John Morrison came out and said, actually called out PW Insider and said, at PW Insider, thank you for letting me know that I was signed. Please let me know when I'm going to start because I haven't heard anything.
Right.
And Taya Valkyrie posted a thing saying, hearing so much rumors about myself and my husband that neither of us know about.
WWE picking Taya up. Shut up, Taya.
I know. Nothing to do with this, Taya.
They're going to get Molina back, I'm sure.
I am assuming that Johnny Mundo's coming.
Yeah. I think WWE.com posted something about it, too.
It's social media, it's Twitter, it's wrestlers. Yeah.
But now for the big one, folks.
What have you heard, Pasty?
Well, PW Insider also reports that numerous sources confirmed that CM Punk was at the Fox Studios this week in Los Angeles for a meeting about an on-air role as part of WWE's studio show. Apparently, Renee Young was there to do some test runs with the Second City Savior as well. No news on when or if Punk will sign on to do the series yet. WWE has been trying out several legends and current superstars for on-air roles on said studio show, and those names include Paige, Rey Mysterio, and Sean Waltman. Yes. Punk's management also reached out to Fox Sports about a possible role on the show. As we previously reported, he has been looking to make a transition into broadcasting and has been working MMA events as a commentator. And I think with how great Punk is on the mic, God, put fucking Jerry on the studio show and let's get Punk on Raw. I want him out there.
I agree.
Representing the company. Although, there's just this nagging thought in the back of my head that all of this is a fucking smoke and mirrors and we still see him show up at AEW next week. I could be wrong. I'm sure I'm wrong. But something in the back of my brain keeps saying it.
With Punk, you never know. You never know.
God, how great would it be if Jericho's two mystery partners next week were like Punk and Edge?
That would be what?
Oh. It's got to be huge. And I mean, it couldn't be, they're not LAX anymore, but it couldn't be Santino and Ortiz because they've already made a debut, so they would be unveiled on the flyer by now, I would assume.
Right, you would think. And that's going to be interesting.
And maybe it's Enzo and Cass. I doubt it, but that could be another one.
It could be. That could have been what they were planning until Cass went all off the wagon.
Wouldn't that be some shit if that was all a work?
That would be wild. There'd be a lot of work put into it.
And they show some backstage footage from the event with Jericho giving Cass like a bottle of bubbly. Have a little bit of the bubbly.
The bubbly. Bubble it up, my friend. Oh,
God, either way, this is like, it's spine-tingling fun right now with just imagining everything that's about to happen in the next week.
The anticipation.
It's so good. It's so good.
It's great. In basically more shake-up news about major sports personalities, there's going to be another one making his pro wrestling debut this November. A name that maybe I don't think anybody was expecting to hear, certainly not I. Former Major League ball player Jose Canseco will step into the ring on November 3rd for World Class Revolution Pro Wrestling. Jose Canseco. World Class Revolution will also present the first Oklahomania Jose Canseco Home Run Derby on November 2nd in Ardmore, Oklahoma, inside Ardmore Regional Park. Proceeds of that event will be donated to Carter County Toys for Tots. So it is a good cause. A 6-time All-Star and 2-time World Series champion, Canseco was known for his power in the 90s and early 2000s pasty, but probably most known for his appearance in the Homer at the Bat episode of The Simpsons on February 20th, 1992.
Yes.
Hitting over 462 home runs, the 1988 American League MVP has been at the forefront of steroid accusations that swept the sport in the late 90s. He still plays independent ball and is looked to make a comeback in the MLB for quite some time now.
Was that Homer's Hunger Strike episode?
No, that's the one where Mr. Burns, his power plant had a tournament against the Shelbyville power plant, and so that they would be sure to win, Mr. Burns brings in a bunch of ringers, a whole bunch of professional MLB players, and then gives them menial jobs in the plant so that they can actually be on it.
God, I tell you what, I'm so excited for Disney Plus to come out. I'm going to have Simpsons on in the background of my life 24/7.
Oh, I know. My son and I are so excited for that as well.
I'm so fiending for it, and my kids haven't got to experience The Simpsons like that, you know?
Right.
And so that's a huge thing to me. It's huge.
Now, regarding any training for the pro wrestling ring, Canseco has competed in MMA before, losing to Choi Hong Man via submission back in 2009 for the non-Velveteen Dream promotion. Yes, Pacey, that was Hung Man.
Hung Man.
Canseco lost to a Hung Man.
Well, I guess I'm looking forward to hearing how he fares in professional wrestling. At least it's not quite as real as MMA.
Right. That's and he's already got the steroids down.
And then back to my theory about Edge being on AEW with Chris Jericho and CM Punk. Edge revealed on the latest Edge and Christian podcast of awesomeness that he is stepping away from the show due to family reasons. And what better family than the Nightmare family? No other information has been released as of this recording.
Oh, no!
But I think Edge is going back to in-ring competition. After all this stem cell research, after that spear he delivered on the Raw Anniversary show, or whatever the fuck show that was.
Yep.
Dude, yeah. I want to see him for one more run. And he should take it easier. Definitely.
Yep. Oh, yeah. No TLC matches.
Yeah. But
yeah,
I think, especially since ENC Pod of Awesomeness kind of is heavily WWE slanted. Not as much as Sam Roberts. But I tend to skip them because they pretty much only do WWE guys.
Right. Yeah, that podcast. Every now and then I just go and see who's on it. But, yeah.
The reason I like their podcast is because I like Edge and Christian in an R-rated scenario where they can sit there and cuss and be themselves, like to the truest. Like to me, it's better than they ever were in WWE.
Right, because there's no reins to hold them back.
Mm-hmm. No reins to hold them back. If Edge went to WWE, Roman Reigns would hold him back.
We'd hold him back, all right. He would.
Although Edge, Roman, and Goldberg in a triple threat match would be kind of fun.
Spears for everyone. You get a spear, and you get a spear.
They all go to spear, and they all crack their heads together.
And the crowd starts chanting, CTE, CTE. Oh, that's some shit. But talking about the Nightmare Family, Pasty, it's time for...
the Weekly Elite Dirt Sheet, my friends. Super Kick Party.
Super Kick Party. And starting this week's Weekly Elite Dirt Sheet, we have some huge, very strategic move here from All Elite Wrestling.
Dude, this is so mean, because Impact, they're doing so good for themselves right now.
So it seems, folks, that All Elite Wrestling has raided the production team of Impact Wrestling. Yes. Raid! Impact has been outsourcing the majority of its production work to Kevin Sullivan's Kevin Sully TV. But over the weekend, last weekend, KSTV cut a deal with AEW and will be working directly with AEW lead producer Keith Mitchell. Now, the loss of virtually its entire production division has left Impact scrambling. It is said that Impact was blindsided over the weekend when the Sullivan Group notified them that the working relationship was over, effective. To give you a little idea of how bad it is, Kevin Sullivan TV is composed of editors, graphic artists, sound engineers, voiceover studios, and more, and they assembled all of Impact's weekly programming for domestic and international television. Now, Impact hired a Tennessee producer to handle all of the work of several people while it regrouped from its latest setback. Pacey, this is a huge strategic move by AEW, and this could prove to be devastating to Impact ahead of its move to Access TV if they don't find something quick.
It's so mean. It's so mean. AEW is supposed to be the beacon of light that brings the entire independent world together. And they're like, nope.
We're the new WWE, baby. Yeah, from the outside looking in, this seems really dirty. Now, it is business, and it's smart business. I'm not saying that.
Well, business is a dirty, dirty game.
To be fair, I don't think Impact Wrestling is All Elite Wrestling, but, you know.
Yeah. Oof. Yes, in other news, Warner Media's Brett Weitz, who is general manager for TNT, TBT, and True TV, told The Wrap that they are currently in talks with AEW officials about doing a studio show.
with all this extra production that they have, what are we gonna?
When asked if there could be a possible studio show to accompany the AEW Dynamite show that premieres this week, White said, "I don't know if you've met Tony Khan, but he's not short of ideas, or passion, or penis. So There is a world where we're thinking about, where does something like that live?
In his pants.
On the foreheads of every wrestler." Knowing full well that within the Warner Media ecosystem, we have Bleacher Report Live. We've got all these different components at our disposal. The more content for these fans, the better, and we would love to figure out what something like that looks like. AEW Executive Vice President Cody Rhodes recently revealed that the company is considering a third hour of weekly content, which reportedly could air on BR Live. Now it looks like this could be AEW's studio show he was referring to.
Everybody's getting all these studio shows.
We need a beef stick studio show just to cover all this excess content.
I think we do. I think first we need a studio.
Put us on the Ocho.
Ocho. Yeah, they're already, before their first show is out, they're already making moves. That's smart. They seem to be a very business-oriented and future initiative-oriented company at this point.
Mm.
And Pasty, the last bit of news for the dirt sheet from the Weekly Elites this week. is that last Saturday, surprisingly, Kylie Ray returned to the ring at Freelance Wrestling Game of the Genders.
Wait, wasn't she retired?
I know.